Welcome back, everyone. I changed up the intro because the Admiral and I are in the midst of changing everything up. Some new developments have come down, and we're really excited to show you guys what we're trying to do. So I went ahead and just put the Oscarith open up here. Normally you'd get either Galron or just the Crowd Warriors of Kronos sign coming up. But for those of you who are new to what we're doing, we are reviewing Star Trek, mostly the episodes, and we're kind of commentating on it. We used to do this with a good friend of ours, Mr. Bo Llewellyn, and Bo would give us all these cute little tidbits around about behind the scenes things and all this other stuff. So she and I, Admiral Zena and I, decided to keep going in that tradition. But now when Strange New Worlds came back, there was something that we could actually go back, critique, and keep going. What's going on, Taco Cat? So, with that being said, stay tuned for the new announcement that'll be coming soon. We're in the midst of getting stuff done, and I believe in September it will be finalized. And the webpage will go up, and you guys will see a whole new side of what we're doing. But first things first, these two episodes. Admiral, I don't mind telling you this so far is my favorite episode of this season. I can say this without a doubt. The only thing I don't like is they're shoving Nurse Chapel down my throat. At every turn, at every away mission, there's a Nurse Chapel. And I'm just like, I'm over Nurse Chapel. I didn't like the way she treated Spock. I don't really like her character that much. In the original series, Nurse Chapel was in more of a supporting role. And I get it that you want to try to give her this breakout role, but Nurse Chapel doesn't need to be in every damn thing that you guys are doing. I'm sorry. On a side note, Leon, who I couldn't stand in the first season, has become one of my favorite characters, which is unprecedented for me. There's only two people that or two beings that have done that. One, Creature Commandos with Weasel. I hated James. Well, I didn't hate it. James Gunn Superman is not my cup of tea. Suicide Squad, I hated the Weasel. I thought that was so stupid that he would bring that character in. But in Creature Commandos, he made me feel for this guy. And I'm just like, oh my God, I love this character. Leon, I didn't like her. She mouthed off. She acted like she was the toughest thing in the world. Now they've kind of broken the ice with her. And she is one of my favorite characters. If she ever goes to GalaxyCon, I will be one of those people in line talking about, I'm a fan. I have to tell you, to be honest with you, I did not care for your character in season 1. But by that episode of you and Kirk, you have been fantastic. Your thoughts, Admiral?
I 100% agree with you on both aspects. Nurse Chapel, I actually liked her originally. This season, I agree. I didn't like her. What she did, to Spock, we like Spock. Why she's still on the Enterprise? Because I thought the whole purpose was she was leaving. I'm going to leave. I'm going to be gone. She left. But then she came back on another episode, and I still haven't left. She's still supposed to be leaving. And I agree, she's always up there. I don't want to see her anymore. I hate to say it. I lost respect for her, not just what she did to Spock, just in her attitude itself. I'm here, and I'm going to do this because I'm here. No, you're the nurse. You're not the doctor.
Thank you.
You are the nurse. And I know if, in old school, McCoy, went down, he was part of the three, and, in some of the other series, the doctor kind of stayed on the ship or on the space station. But with her being a character as she is, with us having a major character of a doctor and kind of now a major character of her being a nurse, at least switch it up every now and then. I would like to see the doctor being down a little bit, depending on what the situation is. Then her always, always on the bridge, or always on the wave team. She has no business being there. What's her name? Leah, Leanne? I
Leon, yeah.
Leon, yeah, she's another one where I did not like her in the seasons, first two seasons, and really like her now. She's down to earth, I mean, she's with Spock. She's, not necessarily emotional, but she's not scared to say, hey, look, tell how she feels. She's understanding. She's strong. Still sometimes think weird that, a female, I'm not saying, women can't do it, but, she's, chief security officer. So, she's short and small, but I guess her attitude is part of the reason why she does have that job. But yes, I definitely like her now more than I did the other two seasons. I kind of feel like the character's kind of reversed, where I like Nurse Chapel, I don't like Nurse now, and I didn't care for her then, and I do like her now. Now we're going to talk about the Hansman. What's her name?
Oh, Ortega.
I still
Yeah,
don't like her.
she's another one. She's another one that I'm sitting there like, wait a minute, where is she at? There she is. I can't stand her either. I'm so and so Ortega. I'm Erica. I fly the ship. Sit
She's
down.
full of herself too much.
Yes. You know what? I just and without the risk of sounding too, I think there's a way that she could be who she is without. For me, that episode where she stood up at the diplomatic dinner and and all I kept saying was, Pike, when are you gonna make her sit down? Because see, right then and there, that disrespect. But number one puts her in her place, and I love that.
Yes.
I think of and I'm not comparing the two. I know you're that strong first officer. You know what I mean? When you say something, no one gonna question what you said. You know what I'm saying? I love that. When she sat there, she goes, that was insubordination. And there can't be another one. We understand each other, correct? I was like, thank you. Fine. Yeah. But Pike, where the hell were you?
True.
I don't understand that. And I get it. Well, the first officer is supposed to handle it. No, the captain should have been, because Picard damn sure wouldn't have put up with it. Kirk would have put her up with as soon as she started. Sit down, mister. What are you doing? No, you're not. No. So she's another one. Chapel and her.
Yeah.
Throw them away. I'm sorry. Throw them away. But number one, I don't understand why we don't get her story.
Yeah.
She needs to be a captain somewhere along the line, because I treat this as a reboot of Trek. I don't put it in any timeline because you can't. It doesn't make sense. Some of these things that happen doesn't make sense. So I put this in its own reboot of Trek. I would love to see what happens to number one. Does she get her own ship? I don't care if it's a Farragut class starship or whatever else. This woman deserves her own ship.
Agreed.
I would love to see her first officer. You know what I mean? Whether it be male, female, I would love to see her. And will she have that banter or will it be all serious like Janeway? Okay,
I
because
like
again,
her. Janeway alone. I like her.
oh no! I am a Janeway fan. No, I'm a Janeway fan because I like Janeway. Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah,
You could do that shit with Janeway.
yeah,
Janeway would snap that. Remember, it's not crunch time yet, Mr. Kim. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you're
That's
right,
a
Rob. I know, but
possibility. That's a
but
possibility.
I seriously think she needs it. I think, um, well, I know that genetics part plays a. Yeah, Rob, you're right. All right, you hit me with some reality, but still, um, I have all three captains. I mean, all four captains in this form, and again, that's my Mount Rushmore of captains: Kirk, Picard. Sadly, I like Archer, but just not enough to make the top four cut.
I agree.
Um, uh, and like I said, I love Janeway. I thought Janeway was a powerful woman character. This is another powerful woman character. Chapel
Yeah,
is not, and Ortegas is not, or Ortega, whatever her name is.
yeah.
All I know is she's annoying. She needs to go.
Well,
She
the
needs to
other
go.
people, I think she should have never, the first time, opened her mouth like that.
Yeah.
And that's where the other people that's beneath these other captains wouldn't have done. Now she might think what she thinks, and it is okay because you heard her kind of said that in the second episode when she was talking to the reporter guy. Hey, look, yeah, da 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 da, but I'm following the captain's orders. She could have agreed or disagreed with what the captain was doing. My problem with her, she should have kept it to herself, or pull him to the side and give at least kind of give her input this instead of just blah 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 in front of everybody. That's what I don't like about her. Keep your mouth shut. If he asks you for your opinion, give your opinion. Just don't shout it out because you think you're the boss.
No, agreed. Now, I love the fact that they brought another Sulu person. I'm still not sure why you have two engineering people flying the ship instead of the old command stuff. But again, that's their breakaway from original Trek. So I will give them that. But the Asian lady at the end of the thing, I think that's just, you might as well go ahead and make Ortega, instead of making her Spanish, make her Russian. I mean, come on.
Yeah, true.
Come on.
True.
You know what I mean? A little. And again, um, are we? Are there no males that can help do? I mean, I see a lot of women, very few males. I'm just saying. I'm a little tired of that. And the crazy engineering lady in the back. This. Look at this. Look at, she's sporting all these rings, this brooch, and nobody. DeForest Kelly used to wear a pinky ring. And Carl Urban did it in the movies to honor DeForest Kelly. This is a little much.
Yeah.
This is a little much. And I get it. We're doing this for the millennials. We're having the language millennials and Gen Z, so they can get into it. And these type of shows were never meant for them. I mean, let's just say it. I was listening to a guy on YouTube who said that Star Trek is one of the benchmarks of science fiction. It shouldn't be trying to act like Rick and Morty. It shouldn't be trying to act like Buffy or Angel. This is a benchmark, serious sci-fi drama with cultural commentary woven in, so it doesn't hit you on the head with it. And my only problem is, how can the Orville do this better than the show that
Yeah.
bears the name?
True. True.
So as I talked to Bishop today, he told me that they have decided on a new showrunner who is over Kurtzman, who is now heading Star Trek, and he says he's looking forward to a good working relationship with him. In other words, there's a new sheriff in town, and if you don't like it, you're gone. I feel for the new Star Trek Academy. I wish it well in the Discovery era of Star Trek. Again, I've always said, if you stop saying that you're from this timeline and just say, this is where we are, this is all new, we're rebuilding the Federation from this point, now you have a good jump off point to do whatever you want to do, and no one like me can complain, because first of all, this is not Star Trek that you know of. This is a whole new Star Trek. So either you want to get on board with it or you leave it alone. Those are your two choices. But when you keep saying that you're in my timeline that I grew up in, that I worship, and then you bring me stuff like this, telephones and kitty cat eyes, because she's been alive over 5,000 years and apparently on Earth, and it's just a little hard to swallow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The eugenics wars and Khan and them going out and doing the space seed thing, but now you got this lady who's been on Earth for over 5,000 years, who's lived on it, and she kept all her telephones and beamed all that junk aboard the Enterprise.
You're right. Think about that. Because if you just got phones, what else does she got in there?
Right. I don't really care for her character, because they're making it, again, Mr. Scott is supposed to be the miracle worker. Yeah. And again, you're taking that away, and now you're saying that this woman is better than Scotty, and da 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 da. Scotty was that one of a kind engineer. And then, of course, they retcon that by saying, how much time did you really tell them? No, you don't tell them that, because they want it when they want it, and da 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 da. And I was kind of like, don't do that to Scotty. No, you know, they do it so much to the male heroes nowadays. You know, they kind of retcon them and tell them that they didn't do all these great things. Han Solo didn't make the Kessel Run in 12 parsec. Oh, if you round down, buddy, I did. Captain Kirk cheating at the Kobayashi Maru. And, you know, I just, you know, I don't care for that. Just let it be what it is. You can build these great characters. You have a great character in number one. You have a great character in Leon. It may have taken me a season to get there, but I didn't like Ahsoka either until, I don't know, 4th, 5th season.
Yeah.
But your fan base will always buy their merch and always love them for the character, you know, for the passages of time that they go through, for their trials and their tribulations. We will grow with those characters, and we will grow to love those characters.
Sure.
I was a big fan of Pike, but he seems to be a secondary character in this show to me now.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's just a secondary character. And he, you know, when I saw him in Discovery, and I said, oh, he kind of looks like the old guy, you know, the guy who played him. I'm like, okay. And he had that bravado about him. I'm like, yes, I'm into this guy. I like this guy, you know. And then he won't be in our season anymore. That was it for Discovery. I didn't go back. I didn't look back. I was done. Then I hear he gets his own show, and I'm like, I can't wait for this show. Is it rough? Yes. But is it passable? Yes, very much so. That we decided to actually do something like this and hopefully carry on a good tradition for Star Trek. So, yeah. All right, guys. Let's head it up to the next little chapter here. Let me remove this so I can get everything set.
But
What did you
overall,
think overall of the episode?
I thought I thought it was a really good episode, and showcased Kirk a little bit more. So I thought it was a good episode. I would rewatch that episode again.
I'm kind of waiting that I will see the whole thing like that, like you know how they do, like when you go to eBay and then you see buy series here.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I can just like, oh yep, let me go ahead and grab that real quick and put this up here. Let's see where we're at with this. Okay. So you gave me a great episode. I was raving about it. I'm like, Admiral Zena. I'm like, Zena, did you see it yet? No, not yet. Oh, I can't say nothing. I can't say nothing. I'm like, did you see it? Did you see it? And that episode was my favorite episode because, like she said, it showcased Kirk, and he's not the Captain Kirk that we all love and know, but he's getting into those shoes, and I love that.
Yeah.
Then you give me this episode.
You didn't like this episode? I thought it was a decent episode.
I didn't like it because why would Starfleet, a utopian society, now start hiding stuff from the world? It makes no sense. This is not. And don't get me wrong. I know I already said that this is not my Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now they want to root it in today's politics, and I don't like that. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that because Gene Roddenberry had already established what our Star Trek world was like. Earth is a utopia. Nobody wants anything. There's no hunger. There's no greed. So now all of a sudden Starfleet is, don't get me wrong. Every society has that thing where, hey, we don't want you to know this, so we're cutting this out. But, they make it more sinister. It's the same thing they did with the Acolyte, with the Jedi and the Sith. I don't like that. Don't make Starfleet out to be this hidden bad guy that's hiding all the little groovy details over here. You know what I mean? I wasn't too keen with that. Uh-oh. I think she's frozen. So let's see what we got. Oh, there's only one photo? Wow. One photo. Oh, she dropped out. Okay, guys. So this episode itself was kind of crazy. The guy, her brother is upset that she got hurt during a mission, and now he wants to hurt Starfleet. And he's a film photographer, and he's got the drones, and he's hiding in corners, and he's getting all this information on the Federation and saying how, Starfleet doesn't do this, and Starfleet, but look, they're breaking their rules. And to me, it was just a little crazy. I was just like, come on. Again, Starfleet had been established. I don't think they would do that sort of thing. And here we have this thing going on where, they want to, I'm getting my mouse out of here. They want to show you that they want to show you that, the dark side of Starfleet. Oh, there she is.
I'm back.
All right. Look, I was doing a little song and dance before you get. So I was telling everybody about how this episode was coming about, how the guy secretly is mad at Starfleet because his sister got hurt. His sister got hurt. Now he wants to expose Starfleet for being the hypocritical organization that it is. And it's rated on MB 4 out of 10. That's some very high praise. Again, matter of fact, now let me go back up here. Am I over here? That's what I thought. Yes, because that was a great episode. 8 out of 5. Okay, 8.5. Yes. And now we drop down to 6.4 because this episode was crazy. Again, we're spotlighting this young lady right here.
Yeah.
Miss Ortegas or Ortega or whatever her name is. I'm just not a fan. I don't know if they push her too much to do this stuff, and she's in her room. She's half stripped down. She's like this grease monkey trying to make this hover bike work or something, and I'm just like, okay,
I didn't really pay attention too much of her scene. I'm gonna be honest. I like the other part of this episode where the alien wanting to go into the sun.
That was a heartbreaking scene.
Yeah. So her part of the episode. I mean, I don't want to say who cares, but
no, I agree with you. Now, if you're asking me if we take that part out, oh, it was a great episode. Yes, definitely. Spock going to mind meld with a creature, I thought was interesting and stuff. But when it said it wanted to kill itself, I was like, how bad you have to be to enslave something where it wants to commit suicide like that.
Yeah.
And I love Pike's line. You don't want to make the Federation an enemy.
Yeah.
Like, damn, okay. Finally. There's the man that I came to admire.
Mm-hmm.
So on that note, yes, Admiral, you're right. I totally agree with you on that. I thought it was great. I thought it was
kind of heart-wrenching. I'm treating like this. Please watch out for my kids.
Oh yeah, that part too.
So the episode as a whole does have its issues, but if I'm gonna pick some things out of the episode, it wasn't that bad, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of the original Star Trek, where it kind of had it made you think a little bit. She was willing to kill herself. She wanted to save her family. You got this other species that want to use it as a weapon, and she don't want to do that anymore. That aspect reminded me of old school Trek. Even Home Chick's brother upset, what happened to the family and da 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 da. I don't even mind that aspect of it. I think some of the other series had it where they were being interviewed. So this is not the first time where a person of the press came to interview what's going on the ship. I didn't even mind that aspect of it. So, I mean, overall, I don't think it was a bad episode when I'm going deeper into the meaning behind the episode. But, I agree. Whole chick in her room trying to build whatever she was trying to build. I don't even know what she was building.
That's where, like I said, that's where I fell out. That's where I fell out at it. Yeah. I was just like, nah. I really kind of feel like, nah.
Who cares?
Exactly. Yeah. It was like, I get it because she's trying to explain to him why she did what she did. Am I scared because the Gorn did this thing to me? And yes, I was scared. And, da-da-da-da. That's the part of being an explorer. That's the part of out there into the unknown. That 5-year mission to explore the unknown. That's what it is. And I agree with Q. If you don't, if you can't take a bloody nose, perhaps you shouldn't be out there. Because there's going to be dangers. It's the unknown. That's the whole thing. But again, I love talking this over with you because now, like you said, if we take that trash and throw it away, I'm with you. I'm rocking with this episode. I'm rocking with it because, again, I got to see a strong Pike. Oh, you threatening me? Let me tell you something. You don't want to make an enemy of the Federation. You know what I mean? I love that. I'm finally seeing some cojones here. You know what I mean? This, I hate to say it, but I think maybe Pike needs to have that love life. So maybe he comes a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more ruthless.
Yeah.
Get in there. You're the captain of the flagship of the Federation. The flagship. Sometimes
at the end of the episode, they were all having dinner again. Which, look how long it took Picard to do that.
I get it though. I get it because it was always, well, that's not true. So like when Kirk wanted to go down to the planet, he would take Scotty, he would take McCoy, those three, and then Spock. And Spock would be like, I really don't want to go. You're going. Come on, let's go. You know what I mean? And they would be out there carousing and all this other stuff, doing all this, doing what sailors do.
Yeah.
And, with Next Generation, they're around the poker table. That's their thing. Poker night, which is great. Unfortunately, our captain wants to cook a meal for everybody. And, I like the old Pike who's like, he's tired of all these decisions, making all these decisions for people. And, green Orion slave girls and all that. I like my captain to be a little bit more aggressive and manly. There's nothing wrong with this new millennial captain, I guess, or Gen Z captain, if you're into that sort of thing, as long as I don't have any more Klingons being K-pop boy bands, I think I'll be all right.
Remember that episode.
All right. I know. All right. Look, I'm not looking forward to the puppet episode, but, we got to get through it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for us. Stay tuned. Up next, we're going to have Blurred Otaku come on.
Yeah.
As soon as we reset and get ready. So I want to thank you again for joining Admiral Xena and I as we talk Strange New Worlds. We're going to go through this whole season. And, of course, the last season, unfortunately, it has been cut short to make room, hopefully, for Captain Kirk's first year. And then, of course, the Star Trek Academy. And we will be talking about it here always on a Tuesday, usually every other Tuesday, because we like to do the kind of like 2 episodes, get 2 episodes in there and then kind of drop it. So stay tuned for that. Admiral, anything else you'd like to say?
No, just, we appreciate everyone listening. I know sometimes we can be kind of critical of, what we see in Star Trek. And I think that's just because we are fans. I want to see it succeed. And sometimes when I watch a certain episode, it's like, oh, why did y'all do that? Y'all know better, because I want to see it on TV. I love that, the last, I guess, kind of couple of years, each certain kind of track has been on TV, and, I don't know if they're listening, to the fans. I kind of sometimes think that they don't, but I'm a fan. I'm going to watch it, even, if it sucks. I've told people many times I hated, and hate is probably a strong word, but I hated Lower Decks. But I watched every episode.
Oh, wow.
Because
you're better than me. Well, you're better than me. I only watched the Martok episode, and I was like, okay, I can't do. I watched the first episode, and then when we had Martok on the show, I had to go see what he was in Lower Decks, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I just, if I want Rick and Morty, I will watch Rick and Morty. I'm a Rick and Morty fan. I've got Crocs with Rick and Morty. I got T-shirts. I got a hat. I got figurines. I got Funko Pops. I don't want that in my Star Trek.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, guys, stay tuned for us probably in 2 weeks to give us a chance to get 2 episodes under our belts, and we'll be back. And stay tuned for Blurred Otaku coming up next. as we reset. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Rob, for joining us. Have a pleasant evening.